I was watching some good old Professor Dave Explains, one of the funniest, most sarcastic, most evil little guys on the internet. And he's right. He's right a lot. And because of that, it's very hard to fight back against a guy like that. So Professor Dave was exposing some flat earthers. And I realized that flat earthers are not too much different than Bitcoin deniers. All right. There's a difference between not really understanding Bitcoin and then criticizing it. That just makes you ignorant because you're talking without knowing what something is, compared to someone who has done some of the work to try to understand Bitcoin and then just says that it won't work because reasons. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Gen Z BTC. It's me, Satoshi Guapamoto. And today I just wanted to go over this radical new idea. The new flat earthers are Bitcoin deniers. All right. Why is that? I say that for a couple main reasons. All right. The first one being that there's a cognitive dissonance at play. Okay. Flat earthers only exist because they want to be contrarian. Okay. Most flat earthers don't actually want to find the truth. They just want to be outside of the realm of the truth and then claim inside of their tiny bubble that they are actually spouting the truth and that the majority of people are just sheep. All right. This allows you to be a part of a little facet of people. You have a little community. And not only do you have a little community, you have a community that's actually elevated above all the normies. All right. Because you know the truth and everyone else is just being confused. They all are. Okay. You're the smart ones. And interestingly, I think that's going to continue to happen in the Bitcoin space, right? We are going to show people evidence. We are going to show people the open nature of the Bitcoin protocol. All right. We're going to go over the source code line by line. This has already been done many times, but it's not enough for people because people don't actually want to see the truth. They don't want to understand that there's a paradigm shift happening. They just want to feel like they're right, especially if their initial reaction is that Bitcoin can't work. Bitcoin is a scam. Bitcoin doesn't have any real value. If that's your initial thought, people have a really hard time admitting when they're wrong about something. Okay. And that's part of the problem with Bitcoin. If you didn't start on the right train, if you didn't start on the right track, it's really hard to get on track. All right. It's going to take you many years of being proven wrong. It's going to take you many years of you crossing your fingers and hoping that Bitcoin just goes away. Please let it go to zero because I don't want to have to rethink all the stuff that I thought I knew. I don't want to have to change everything that I thought was true. No, please, please. And unfortunately, wishful thinking like that doesn't really work too well. Okay. Not in the real world. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much. And another reason why I'm comparing the flat earthers to Bitcoin deniers is the fact that their inability to understand certain concepts makes it so that the concepts themselves have to be wrong or fake. Right. So a good example in the flat earth community is the idea of gravity, right? Like gravity cannot work on the flat earth the way that they explain it, right? Their whole thing is, well, the earth's just going up really fast. And that's how we determine the rate of gravity, the rate of things falling, right? And if you try explaining, no, it's actually more so tied to relativity. And, Newton found some of these laws and this is the gravitational constant and all this other stuff. That's like, no. That's way too complicated. And that does not work. Okay. My way is the correct way. Okay. Why is that? Because I don't understand the fundamentals of the thing that you're talking about. All right. So therefore, my much more simplistic thing that I came up with is how it actually works. All right. So that's why people, if they hear Bitcoin, they say, oh, well, it's digital and therefore it has no value. So why are we even paying money for it? Oh, well, Bitcoin is digital and therefore it's basically a central bank digital currency. So why would I ever go and fight for that kind of thing? Why would I ever get into Bitcoin when it uses so much energy that's going to boil all the oceans and then we're not going to have any more water left on Earth? And if you read it in an article, a lot of these guys, they'll run with it, So for a lot of normies who are anti-Bitcoin, their gospel is like any sort of news source. If you have like a platform, that means that you are legitimized. That means that whatever you're saying has to be true. Oh, well, the Associated Press said that Bitcoin is going to boil the entire planet by 2023. 2023 rolls around. They're like, oh, well, I mean, they actually meant 2026, so it's absolutely insane. With the flat earthers, your validation comes from the fact that you've been in the community for a long time and you just deny all the science. You just say all the things that people want to hear. All right. You're just catering to the things people want to have said to them. So it's very interesting. Now, a lot of people, they could try to flip all these things that I'm saying back onto the Bitcoin community. You know, you could say, well, all the Bitcoiners, they're in their own little bubble and they think that they're smarter than everyone and everyone else is just dumb. So all the people who were talking about how the internet's going to change everything back when the internet first dropped and how everyone who didn't understand it and thought it was a fad, they were all stupid. Guess what? The internet people were right. Sorry. We are the internet people. Once again, coming here to tell you, hey, this is the new thing that you probably think is a fad, or you think it's just a trend, or you think it's just garbage, it's a nothing burger, it's tulips. And then it ends up being one of the biggest things ever, you know? So sometimes in life, there are people who are just right, and then there's people who are just wrong. Are you one of the people who's just right, or are you just wrong? You know? And how do we determine who's right? How do we try to guess about what the future will be? How do we use what we have now? How do we use our past data to try to predict where the future is going? Okay. No one can actually tell exactly where the future is going, but given all the data, we can make an inference about what might happen. Okay. What makes sense to happen. And based on everything, if you look into Bitcoin, you start to study Bitcoin and understand Bitcoin and what it does. All right. It's not just this thing that keeps going up in dollar value. Yes, it does do that, but it's a underlying technology. All right. The same way that we have the internet, it's a way for us to transfer information to anyone on earth. Bitcoin is a network that allows us to transfer value to anyone on earth. All right. And this is going to be like the base layer of the internet of money. All right. We had the original internet, which is information. We had the internet of things. And then we have the internet of value. That's what Bitcoin represents. So I think that as time will continue to tell, Bitcoin is not going anywhere and it's getting stronger every single day because more and more people are realizing the value proposition that it gives us in the 21st century. And the people who continue to deny Bitcoin has any value as it goes to $500,000 to $1 million, they will be the new flat earthers. Because no matter how much evidence you put right in front of their face, they're still going to find a way to cope and deny it and say that you're wrong and they're right. So we'll see how things go, but it won't be too good for the deniers. Get on the winning team while you still can. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with someone who might also find it interesting. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Remember, stack sats or die trying.